Hello, peace be with you all. I'm Kate Levy, and today I want to talk to you about a 3-day detox cleanse fast that I've been doing in order to try to inspire you guys to go out and do the same. So I'm going to describe to you the process I've undergone for the last 3 days, and I'm going to tell you about the benefits, then I'm going to talk about the spiritual side of things, and then we'll finish up. So for the last 3 days, I have been on a cleanse detox fast with Moon from Moon Detox Center. And basically the cleanse that I've been doing has 4 parts to it. So the first part is clay shakes. So I drink several times a day. I drink these clay shakes mixed with psyllium husks, which pretty much fill you up so you're not hungry during the fast. And what this clay does is absorbs all the toxins and the waste from your body, and it pulls it to itself. The psyllium husks kind of act as a broom to cleanse and to cleanse everything out. Then you've got a bunch of different herbs that he gives you, which again detoxify and cleanse and really clean out your system. And finally, at the end of the day, you do a colonics where you flush everything out. Now, for those of you who don't know what colonics is, it's basically a process where you stick a small tube up your butt, and then you allow a bunch of water with coffee or probiotics, or depending what your cleanser uses, and you let it come into your body, you hold it in there, you give yourself a bit of a massage, and then you expel everything out. And the whole process takes about 30 minutes to an hour. It can be quite uncomfortable in the beginning. The first day of my colonics, I had a lot of cramps, and it was a bit quite uncomfortable. And the reason for that was because I was very blocked. And a lot of stuff came out, a lot of waste, a lot of toxins. The second day was much easier, and today on the third day, I expect it to be easier again. So it can be a bit uncomfortable, but when you see with your own eyes what comes out of your colon and your digestive tract, it's incredible. You really don't want that stuff inside of you. So what are the benefits of a detox cleanse fast? Well, there's heaps. It's huge. First of all, it's great for weight loss. Second of all, it's great for any kind of illness. If you've got any kind of illnesses or digestive problems that you know of, but even illnesses connected to other areas of the body, our gut is like it's like a second brain of our body, and when we don't look after our gut, other issues start to show up. So it can be used to treat other illnesses, but it could also be used as simply as a preventative measure to prevent illnesses from coming, something that you could do once a year, twice a year to ensure that you remain healthy. So there are many benefits, and I definitely would recommend you trying it. So now I just want to move into the spiritual importance of cleanses. So I do lots of practices. I do energy work, meditations, yoga, prayers, all kinds of different stuff, Taoist, Kriyas. But unless you're cleansing your internal self, and if you eat meat, then you definitely need to do it, then you're really only doing part of the job, because it's all great to be spiritual and close to God on an energetic level, but if you've got all this waste and toxins and heaviness in your body, then there's only so far that you can go. So now another thing is, when I speak to people about becoming vegetarian, I always recommend them to do a cleanse. And I'll tell you the story of what happened with me and why it's so important. So about 5 years ago, I started my journey into vegetarianism. And there was about a 3-year period where I found it very difficult. So I'd be vegetarian for maybe 3-4 days, and then I would have this compulsion to eat meat. And it would go on like this, maybe I would last a week or even a month, and then bam, I would just be compelled to eat meat, to eat flesh. And one day I had a session with a healer, and she said to me that I've got parasites. Now, if you eat meat, you probably have parasites. Most of us do, if you eat meat. So then I started on this journey into clearing out these parasites and learning what they are. And what I found about the parasites is this: they have a mind onto their own, onto themselves. They basically are created and formed from eating flesh. So when we stop feeding them flesh, they get angry and they start making noise and they start compelling us to eat it. And so the only way to really stop that process is by getting rid of them. So I found only after I got rid of my parasites, through various different methods. Like, maybe I'll have to do a different blog on that, but sometimes a cleanse isn't enough. Sometimes there are certain herbs you need to take and things like that to actually rid yourself of them. Once I got rid of these parasites, I found being a vegetarian much easier. And now I've been a strict vegetarian for almost 2 years, and I've never eaten flesh in that time, and nor have I really felt the need to do so. So if you're transitioning into vegetarianism, or you're wanting to transition into pescatarian, I highly recommend doing a cleanse detox with colonics. Now, I just want to finish up with the kind of spiritual side of it. There's a wonderful scripture that's available freely on the internet that came out of the Vatican, and it's a scripture called the Essene Gospel of Peace. And the Essenes, of course, Yeshua or Jesus was an Essene. I'm an Essene, and Essene just comes from the Aramaic word which means Asaim, which means healer. So this is the Essene scriptures. This is the scriptures of Yeshua, and it's a beautiful scripture that was brought out of the Vatican by this scholar translator who was working in there. And there's this scene takes place, out in Israel somewhere, where Yeshua is surrounded by a group of people mostly people who are sick and with leprosy or blind, the maimed, and they're all around him, and he's delivering this beautiful discourse. And they start to question him, and they say to him, "Master, how can we be righteous and holy like you?" And then Yeshua goes on to describe this incredible process of fasting and colonics. And so he advises them, he guides them to go out into the nature, to take their clothes off, to immerse themselves in the water and commune with the angel of water, to immerse themselves in the sun and commune with the angel of sun, and to immerse themselves in air and commune with the angel of air, and to rid themselves of this what he calls evil smelling things that reside in the body. He then goes on to describe this incredible process of colonics, and this was written 2,000 years ago, and he talks about taking a branch of a tree, removing the inner parts of the branch, putting it up your butt, and basically filling yourself with water and expelling these toxins, expelling this waste, and expelling these evil smelling parasites that he calls them. And it just goes into detail about what comes out of these people. And you need to remember, these are really like the downtrodden, the really tormented individuals of society, really uncleansed, but wanting to seek redemption, wanting to cleanse themselves. And the stuff that comes out of their body is just so foul. And he uses this discourse, and you can see the parasites writhing on the ground. And then he calls on the angel of sun to kill them, I guess, but to cleanse them and to return them to wherever it is that they came from. And after this process, I guess they're saved, they're cleansed. And he talks about only after we purify the temple, only after we cleanse and rid ourselves of these evil smelling things and these toxins and parasites, only after we rid ourselves of these are we in a position to allow the angels of the earthly mother to reside within us. And only once, when the angels of the earthly mother reside in us, can the angels of God truly enter us, and can we truly find communion with God. So it's a really important practice for health. It's a really important practice on the spiritual path. And it's a really important practice just to be cleansed and to be pure and to feel good and to feel clean and clear. So as I mentioned, Moon is opening up a wonderful detox center in I believe in the north of Thailand, in a village, in a jungle. It's a community project. It's going to be affordable. Everybody can afford it. And I highly recommend you to go and see him. But if you can't make it to Thailand, if you are going to do a cleanse, again, just to recap, make sure it involves clay shakes, psyllium husks, the fiber. So clay to detoxify, remove the toxins, psyllium husks or fiber to help the process of expelling the waste, herbs, detoxifying herbs to cleanse and heal and to send all that really good stuff to your body, and finally colonics to rid yourself of the body of all this waste. So thank you for all listening, and until next time we speak, peace be with you.